Hello, my loves. Welcome to my channel. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about how to get what you want by letting go. Now, before we get into the bulk of the video, please like and subscribe to this channel. This will allow me to grow my audience and get better collabs, better guest speakers, so I can provide you with more value. So like and subscribe, and let's get going. So, how to get what you want by letting go? That is such a paradoxical sentence, right? Because when we think about getting what we want in life, whether that's a lifestyle that we desire, whether that's happiness, whether that's a certain relationship or money or success or whatever it is that we sort of desire that might be coming in the future, when we make so much effort to actually get there, it can sometimes have the opposite result. Crazy, right? That's what we're going to talk about in this video today. Now, I've been practicing yoga, spiritual practices, self-development, self-inquiry, whatever you want to call it, for the past 20 plus years. And this still remains the most powerful teaching in the books. So stay tuned and stay to the end, because at the end, I'm going to give you 3 main ways in which you can start to learn how to let go of things that you're attaching yourself to in the future so that you can actually grow and move forward at a much faster pace. So let's get going. So what does letting go actually require? What does it mean? Letting go means to surrender the attachment to the outcome. Surrender the attachment to the outcome. Now, whenever I talk about surrender in my communities, there's always this, oh no, not that surrender word again. This is a huge red flag. People have so much resistance towards the word surrender because essentially they think it means giving up, becoming lazy, becoming complacent and not achieving what it is that they want to achieve. And actually, it has the absolute opposite effects. Whenever you grasp for something in the future, an outcome, you are forming an attachment with that thing. And whenever we form attachments with things, we suffer. Buddha says a very famous quote that goes, "Attachment is the root of all suffering." And I really could not agree anymore if I tried. Let me give you an example, okay? So let's think about letting go again as releasing or surrendering the attachment to the outcome. Let's say that the outcome is money. It could be anything. Money, I want happiness, I want success, I want a certain job title, I want a certain lifestyle, etc. The list goes on, right? But let's use money as an example. Let's say the outcome is money. So you're continuously throughout your day thinking about that outcome. I need more money. I don't have enough money. I need more money. How can I get it? So the outcome is money and the attachment is money. But what's happening when you're continuously attaching and grasping for that outcome in the future is you're taking your center of gravity away from the only place that exists, which is now. And you're projecting that energy to the future, which means you're depleting your energy battery in the now. And when you are attaching yourself to the outcome, which is money or happiness or whatever it is, what you're saying is to your now self, I need that because I'm lacking in it. I need happiness in the future. I need money in the future. I need X, Y, and Z. And the signals that that's actually sending to your subconscious, the mantra that that's actually replaying over and over again in your now state and your presence, the only place that exists, is that of lacking. It's that of scarcity. So what you're really manifesting is lack. Now just let that sink in for a moment. Mana in the manifest word, that cheesy word that everybody uses nowadays, but it's actually a real thing, right? Mana in Sanskrit basically means mind or now, to bring into the now, because the only thing that actually exists is our ability to be in the now. If we are continuously projecting our existence to something that we want to grasp in the future, my precious, you can even look at that little Gollum character in Lord of the Rings. Love Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Look at that little Gollum character and look at how his attachment to that precious actually sent him mad. Because it was all about, how can I get how can I protect? How can I have? Instead of surrendering and letting go of the need to have something outside of yourself, and instead working on process and your moment by moment experience of life, generating more joy, understanding what it is within inside of yourself that is already abundant, that is already beautiful, that is already worthy, all of the talents and skills and the things that you love doing that are already 100% available to you in the now. That is what gets you the thing in the future. Surrendering, severing the ties with the need to have it. So that's what letting go really means. Thinking about Buddha's quote, attachment is the root of all suffering. And how can we start to surrender, let go of what it is that we really desire, instead of allowing it to send us mad and bring into our subconscious and into our immediate nowness that feeling of lack? I don't have it because I'm thinking of having it in the future. That means I don't have it now. How can we flip that? How can we let go of our need to attach ourselves to the outcome, which might be money or success or happiness or whatever it is, or even getting a certain relationship that you might want with yourself, maybe a feeling of self-love, something like that. Instead of thinking, how can I get? How can we start to embody what it is that we already have? This is the law of abundance, gratitude. Okay, so having said that, another thing around letting go, and this is something that much bigger, something that's taken a huger role in the experience of life, is that nothing is actually within our control. The world around you is not in your control at all. Okay, there's something that's in our control. There are a few things that are in our control, but existence in general is not within our control. We do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. We do not have this huge, vast experience of life within our control, do we? No, we don't. So letting that go, learning how to let that go, because it's easier said than done, is such a key element to be able to feel more content, more present, and actually move forward in your life with more energy and more growth. That's the number one thing to remember, that nothing is within our control. There's something that is within our control, and that is our response to the fact that nothing is within our control, okay? Our ability to accept and respond to something differently. And that comes with practice. It comes with tuning into certain tools, if you like, to be able to learn the art of coming back to your center, recognizing that not everything is in control, but you do have the ability, you do have that human choice to be able to respond in a certain way. And so our mind, in general, our mind wants to grasp at things like we were talking about. It wants to attach itself to something in the future, to an outcome. And when we attach ourselves to that outcome, when it doesn't happen like that, because the world is not in our control, we feel lacking again, okay? So we feel continuously this lack of, that wasn't how I imagined it to go. I didn't expect things to turn out like that. Oh no. And then we start to get this sense of lacking. So really, if we release and sever the ties with the attachments that we have with things, whether that's our thoughts even, our emotions, the way that our day might go, how we expected life to go, what it is that we were wanting in the future. When we detach from these things and bring ourselves back to, how can I enjoy the process? How can I enjoy the nowness? And how can I work on what's in front of me step by step? Okay, before we get to the last part of this video, where I'm going to give you some actual practical tools that you can start to work with to practice the art of letting go in your daily life, I want to talk before about two energies in the body. Now, before I talk about these two energies, I'm going to give you a little scenario. This is a scenario that you might know very, very well if you're anything like me. You've lost your car keys or you've lost your house keys. Familiar? I'm doing it all the time. And you're searching everywhere. You're looking in the fridge, you're looking in the toaster, you're looking under the bed, and you simply can't find the car keys, the house keys, whatever they are. You've looked everywhere, but they're in the house. You know they're in the house because you got into the house, but you simply simply cannot find them. You are looking, you are putting so much effort in, and you've rampaged the whole house to try and find these keys, but you simply cannot find them. And then you surrender. You surrender the outcome of finding the car keys. You're like, oh, do you know what? I've looked everywhere. I'm just going to surrender this. I'm going to stop looking for the car keys. What turns up? The car keys. Oh, yeah, underneath the sofa where I dropped them. Because what happens when you put too much effort into that outcome, that attachment, it has the opposite effect. Sounds crazy, but it's true. And you can probably understand it yourself from that little example, that little scenario. When you are forcing something so much, it has the opposite effect. And I want to give you a quick scientific, energetic explanation for this. Inside of our bodies, we have two energies. Well, there's other forms of energy in the subtle body, but I want to talk about these two polarities, okay? The first one I want to describe as a masculine energy. This is related to our sympathetic nervous system. The other energy is our feminine energy. This is related to our parasympathetic nervous system. Now, we've been trained and we've been conditioned to really work with that masculine energy, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. This is a great part of the nervous system. It's part of it. It's not all of it. And this is really responsible for outcomes, energy, getting stuff done, logic, activity. That's the looking for the car keys, wanting to have the logical outcome of having the car keys in the hand. That's just one part of the energy. Now, the other part that's a very forgotten part of our energy system is the feminine energy, the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, this is our ability to rest, surrender, that horrible word surrender, let go, release, intuition, flow, digest. That part is something we're not so familiar with because we're not trained to work with it. And yes, we've been trained in life. Terrible, isn't it? So our hustle culture and our work schedules, they all really require for this. Be on time, get this job done, do it in a certain way, logic, facts, proof, outcomes, conclusions. But what happens when we do that is we've forgotten that whole other half of our energy, which is surrender to the process, release, relax, let go of control, and then allow for that flow and that intuition to tell us where something is, like our car keys, for example. These two energy spaces, polarities, are both just as important, but we use only one of them a lot more predominantly. And that's where that law of surrender sort of comes in, right? We're looking for our car keys in our very sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, overdrive. We want to find the outcome and we want to attach ourselves to it. Precious car keys. And instead we surrender. What comes in there is the parasympathetic, the feminine energy that's intuitive. And it allows us to balance our energy so that we can go, oh, now I've taken a step back. I can see them. They're right there. Because sometimes we're so fast and we're so in need of our outcome that we forget that everything will come to us when we stop and watch and listen and use our intuitive senses to be able to hear things, see things, watch things, find things from a different perspective, okay? So that is about balance. Now, before we go, let me give you 3 ways that you can start to integrate the art of letting go into your daily life. These are quite practical ways. Now, I want to talk first of all about the mind, things that you can do mentally to start to integrate this art of letting go. And this is called mindfulness, right? You've all heard of it. It's the ability to practice presence in your daily life, being mindful and moving through your daily tasks with mindfulness. Now, you've probably heard of this little saying, wherever you are, be all there. Wherever you are, be all there. Now, this is the art of mindfulness. Let's say you're washing up, but you've also got your phone on and you're trying to post a post, or you're washing up and you're trying to write something else down, or you're washing up and your mind's thinking about that attachment to money in the future, and you're really not there. You're not in the moment. You are everywhere else but the moment, and your hands are just doing stuff. And this is a real disconnection between the body and the mind and the spirit, the 3 facets of a human being. So my first tip for the mind is to practice drawing your attention to that one singular task at hand. And what you will find when you're doing that is that your energy is not quite as scattered. You are not projecting to the past, the future. You are containing your energy to the now, and the task becomes more mindful. You feel more satisfied when you're doing it. And actually, when you move on to the next task, you do that with more purpose. And when you do something with more purpose, the job gets done better. And when you do the job better, you actually move forward, you grow, because you've contained your energy into now. The second tip I want to give is for the body. The three main ways in which to move energy in the body and bring it back to your center, back to your nowness, is using breathing, movement, and sound. Breath work, movement, sound are the main ways to transform energy in the body. So if your energy is leaking out to the outcome in the future and you want to bring it back to now so that you can get the jobs done with more proficiency, with more equanimity, with more purpose, then practicing some energy work, some breath work, some conscious movement, some yoga, some meditation that involves either movement, breath work, or sound is going to bring you back to the present moment, bring you back to your physical body instead of continuously working from the scattered state of the mind. And this will allow you to move forward with more wholesomeness and get the jobs done that you need to do with more completeness, actually. Now, I've linked a mantra called I release control and surrender to the flow, which is one of the most powerful Kundalini yoga mantras that I use to bring me back into that sense of surrender. Now, the final thing that you can do to integrate this letting go practice into your daily life is to work on the spirit, that third structure of a human being. Now, the way in which I do this is if I'm going by a daily task and I'm feeling disconnected, I'm feeling like I'm longing for something or grasping for something in the future, and actually it's giving me a sense of lack and it's making me feel bad about myself, I draw my awareness back to now and I ask myself the question, am I right now doing something that's feeding my soul, that's feeding my spirit? Am I being kind to myself? Does this feel aligned? Does it feel purposeful? Am I getting anywhere with this thought pattern, for example? And if the answer is no, I quite quickly change the way in which I am doing something so that it feeds my spirit. Because essentially when we start to feed our spirit, feed our soul, do things that we enjoy with purpose and love and compassion and the want to serve, then we align to our path anyway. Okay, so continuously asking yourself that question, is this, what I'm doing right now, aligning to what my soul desires? If you find yourself sort of, again, attaching yourself to that outcome and it's making you feel bad about yourself, it's making you feel like you need to hurry and move forward and force and grasp, then just taking a moment to think, can I do this differently? Can I connect back to my spirit right now and ask what it is that my spirit wants? That is a surefire way to bring you back to your center and to align you to the path without having the need to grasp. Instead, it will allow you to experience life from now and make the more neutral, joyful decisions to move you forward. Okay, so whenever you rein your energy back into now, whenever you rein your mind back into focus on the task at hand, mentally, physically, spiritually, asking yourself these questions, doing the energy tools, you are bringing your energy back to the moment and you are detaching it from that outcome. Therefore, you bring your energy back into a sense of equanimity, balance, and that allows you to be able to grow. You grow faster when your energy is actually working for you, because it can only work for you if it's centered in your nowness. Okay, so they're the three things that you can do for body, mind, and spirit. That's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Hi guys, thanks for watching that video with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it means the world to me. If you would like to watch any more videos, there's 2 here just for you.